Tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. Last week we finished 4 verbal actions, right? And we talk about 5 criteria of good speech. Then today we will talk about 6 types of speech, right? I think this is a very useful so that to apply in our daily life. Abhijjhā Kumara, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 58. Abhijjhā Kumara Sutta. Actually, last week I mistakenly talk about different story. not this one. So sorry. I talk about the importance of the mental action, right? The importance of mental actions. Later I will go to that sutta. But last week I didn't explain this sutta, Abhijjhā Kumara. Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 58. So Abhijjhā is the son of Kimbemisara. He's a disciple of Mahavira, the founder of Jainism. So the conversation, the sutta open the conversation between Abhijjhā and Mahavira. Mahavira suggested Prince Abhijjhā to debate with the Buddha, giving a guideline, right? So asking when you meet with the Gautama Buddha, you can ask the question, right? Did the Buddha speak the speeches that are unpleasant and awaken to others, right? So if the Buddha say yes, so that means you can say to the Gautama, you are not different with the ordinary person, right? If you are talking unpleasant and awakened speeches, you will not be different with the ordinary person, right? But if the Buddha say no, so he is telling lie, right? So the Buddha taught to Venerable Devadatta, and the Buddha said that Devadatta is destined for the state of deprivation. The Devadatta will go to hell, right? By hearing this, Devadatta is not happy, right? So that means the Buddha used awakened unpleasant speeches, right? If the Buddha say no, that means he is telling lie. He is giving a guideline to debate with the Gautama Buddha, right? And he said that, so when the recluse Gautama is posed this two-horn question, right? Two-horn question, right? Two-horn question, just like a cow, right? Two-horn. He will not be able to either to throw it up or to give it down, just like the one who stack iron spike in their stroke, right? Cannot throw it away or cannot swallow, right? Just like that. So if you ask two-horn question, right? It can be yes or no, right? So the Gautama Buddha will not answer, right? The Buddha give a guideline. So just Prince Abhijjhā, listening to his teacher, went to the monasteries, right? So when he arrived at the monastery, he see the sun, right? It's too late. For that reason, he invited the Buddha to come and have lunch in his house, right? And the Buddha accepted. The Buddha accepted his invitation. So the next day, the Buddha went to Prince Abhijjhā house and have a meal, right? Then after lunch, the Prince Abhijjhā asked the question, two-hon question, right? Two-hon, a very, how to say, if you say yes, very, you get, you will get into trouble. If you say no, you will get into trouble, right? So you cannot say yes or no, right? So here, parad number 6. Sutta number, parad number 6. So Prince Abhijjhā asked the question to the Buddha, Venerable Sir, what is the Tathagata? Here the Tathagata is referring to the Buddha, right? Normally the Buddha used himself as the Tathagata, right? Venerable Sir, what is the Tathagata utter such a speech as would be unwholesome, disagreeable to others? Did the Buddha speak unwelcome and disagreeable speeches? The Buddha said, there is no one-sided answer to that, Prince. The Buddha didn't say yes or no, right? So the Buddha said that there is no one-sided answer to that, Prince. I cannot answer your question right away, right? So actually in Golden Nikaya mentioned 4 types of questions. Some question need to answer right away, right? And some question need to answer by analyzing one after another, right? One by one, by analyzing. And third question is by asking question, right? So somebody asks a question by counter questioning, right? Actually, the Buddha used this method. The Buddha used by asking question again, right? So another one is the question that shouldn't answer, right? That shouldn't answer. Actually, the politicians are very smart, right? So if they don't want to answer question, they will stay silent, right? So they will not say anything. They will not say anything. So recently I saw President Donald Trump was asked by the reporters many questions. He didn't say anything, just say stay silent, right? So this is one of the method to answer the question, right? Some question shouldn't be answered, right? Stay silent. But here, but of course the Buddha applied this method as well. So there are many questions that the Buddha didn't answer, right? So last Saturday when I teach Abhidhamma, I give an example of asking question, right? Did you beat your wife last night? You cannot say no or yes, yes or no, right? If he say yes, of course he's not a good man. He's not a good man, right? Did you beat your wife last night? If he say no, that means he beat his wife the other days. So two-hon question, right? So actually cannot say right away. But here also, so the Buddha didn't say, the Buddha didn't answer the question right away. So the Buddha used third method by questioning him, right? By questioning him. So there is no one-sided answer to that question, Prince. Then the Prince Abhijjhā, right? He became very, surprised to hear that reply. Because he expect yes or no, right? But the Buddha didn't say anything. I cannot say right away, right? So by hearing this, the Prince Abhijjhā was impressed to the Buddha, right? So, and he said that. Then Venerable saw the Nikandas had lost in this. They lost, right? They lost. Because they expect yes or no, right? The Buddha didn't answer. I think it's very beautiful so that, to know. Then Prince Abhijjhā, reported everything, right? Everything. Then the Buddha questioned, the Buddha, on that occasion, right? On that occasion, a young tender infant was lying prone on Prince Abhijjhā's lap, right? A young tender infant was lying down on the lap of a Prince Abhijjhā, right? Then the Buddha, then the Blessed One said, paragraph number 7. Then the Blessed One said to the Prince Abhijjhā, what do you think, Prince? If while you or your nurse were not attending to him, this child were to put a stick or a pebble in his mouth, what will you do to him, right? What will you do to him? Then Prince Abhijjhā said, Venerable Sir, I would take it up. A young tender infant swallow stick or a pebble, right? But the prince will take it up. If I could not take it up at once, I would take his head in my left hand and cracking a finger of my right hand. I won't take it up, even if it meant drawing blood. Very important, right? Very important. Even if it's very painful, it draws blood, he will take it off, right? By cracking his finger. Why is that? Because I have compassion for the child. That's very important. I have a compassion for the child. For that reason, he will take it out. He will take the stick or pebble from his mouth, even if it's very painful for him, even if it draws blood from his mouth, he will take it out. The reason is he has compassion, right? Compassion to him. If he didn't take it out, the child will die, right? The child will die. Then the Buddha said that. So too, Prince Abhijjhā. So too, Prince. The Tathagata utters only 2 types of speech out of 6. So there are 6 types of speech. So the Buddha's speech only 2 types, number 3 and number 6. So I think that is the way we should speak, right? Imitating the Buddha. Imitating the Buddha. So number 1, so some speeches are not truth and also unbeneficial, unpleasant to others. Very what, right? Not truth. What you say is not truth, and unbeneficial, unpleasant to others. Maybe such as slandering, offensive speeches, hard speeches, right? So you create stories which is not truth, right? So when you talk to such a speak, it's not beneficial. Also, the listener also do not like, right? Just like the offensive speeches. So the Buddha do not speak number 1, right? Of course, number 1 is the was, right? We have to avoid it. Number 2, truth, but unbeneficial and unpleasant. Even though it is truth, unbeneficial and unpleasant to others, so we should also avoid such a one. Sometimes you might stick to your principle. What you said is truth. Even though it is truth, you have to consider whether it is beneficial whether the listener will like it or will don't like it, right? So I think this is also very important. Sometimes we are very stubborn, so we just stick to the truth, right? For that reason, just telling the truth is not enough. So we have to look at whether it is beneficial, whether the listener will like it or not, right? So we have to look at the other criteria as well. For that reason, so when we last week we talk about 5 criteria of good speech, right? Must be truth, must be beneficial, must be gentle, must be connected with the benefit, right? Sorry. Connected with the well-being. So that is a beneficial, right? Beneficial. Must be gentle, and also you must speak with a mind of loving kindness, right? So these are 5 criteria. Of course, this is the best speech, right? The best speech. Sometimes the listener will not like your speech, right? But you still have to speak. So this is one of the speech, right? One of the speech. So here, number 2 is, even though it is truth, so we have to examine the other factor as well, whether it is beneficial, whether it is pleasant to hear, right? So we have to look at other criteria. So the Buddha do not speak number 2 as well. Then number 3, it is truth. Number 2, beneficial, but unpleasant to others. The listener does not like, right? Listener does not like. So as a leader of the country, right? As a parents, so even though your children as your boss, right? So people will not like, but you still have to talk. Must be truth and must be beneficial, right? Sometimes the listener may not like it, right? Listener may not like it, but we still have to speak. But when you speak such a one, so the most important factor is timing. So you must know the time, right? To use such one. You have to use a good timing, right? A good timing. So timing is very important. So Tathagata speak, right? The Buddha speech. Number 3, the speech which is truth, beneficial, not pleasant to hear, right? Just like a venerable Devadatta, right? The Buddha speak. So the Devadatta committed hideous crime, right? Hideous unwholesome actions. So he will go to hell, right? But of course, Devadatta will not like it. But so by talking such a hard speech to Devadatta, the monks became aware, right? They aware. So such action is very serious, right? They have to avoid it. So creating schism in the Sangha community is very, very serious, right? So hideous crime. So by using hard speech, unpleasant and unwelcome speech to Devadatta, it benefit to the Sangha community, right? For that reason, we now know that creating schism in the Sangha community is very hideous crime, right? So it is true and beneficial, right? But the listener is not happy, right? Listener is not happy. But the Buddha knows the time, right? To use such a speech. The timing is very important. Especially as a leader in his society, as the country, the leader in the country, as a boss, as a parent in the family, right? If you want to be a good leader, sometimes you have to speak number 3, right? It's truth, beneficial, right? People will not like it, but you must know that a good time, right, to use such one. So, as you all know, that Devadatta make a lot of serious crimes, serious wrongdoings, right? So the Buddha told Venerable Sariputta, go around Rajagaha, go around the Rajagaha, and announce that Devadatta is nothing to do with the community of Sangha, because he is not the same like before, right? He is now different, not the same like before. For that reason, Rajagaha city, announce the public. So wherever Devadatta do will be nothing to do with the community of Sangha, right? So the reason is, so if the Devadatta is doing wrongdoings and unwholesome things under the name of Bhikkhu Sangha, right? Sangha community, so the famous Sangha community will be tarnished, right? For that reason, the Buddha told Sariputta. But Venerable Sariputta taught to the Buddha. The Buddha, previously, I taught to the people of Rajagaha. Devadatta is Devadatta is wise, and he has a supernatural power, right? He have a lot of games, right? So Sariputta talk about good things about Devadatta, right? But now, if I talk, Devadatta is nothing to do with this, the community of Sangha. People might think I'm telling, right? Telling lie, right? So the Buddha said to Venerable Sariputta, Sariputta, earlier you talk about Devadatta. What you said is truth, right? Now Devadatta is creating a lot of problem in the Sangha community. He is doing a lot of wrongdoings, right? So it is also truth, right? You are telling the truth. I think Devadatta is very powerful. As you all know that he can persuade the prince Ajatasattu, right? The son of King Bimbisara, right? So in this way, he's very powerful. He even trying to kill the Buddha, right? For that reason, the Buddha have to announce, right, that whatever Devadatta do is nothing to do with community of Sangha, right? So here, what I want to point out is, number one, it is truth. Number two, it is beneficial for the community of Sangha, right? But Devadatta will not like it, right? Devadatta, surely he will not like it. But the Buddha still do it because he is the leader of our community, right? The founder of our community. Number four, some speeches are untruth, unbeneficial, but pleasant to others, right? It is not true, not beneficial, but people like to listen, right? People like to listen. Just like the news of the celebrities, right? So when you hear their news, actually it's not important, right? You are spending your time by looking at TV, by reading the news, nothing beneficial, right? But actually normally people want to hear, people want to know, right? Secrets of celebrities, especially in the West, right? They call it paparazzi, right? So reporter, they follow celebrities and they trying to uncover the secret news of the celebrities, right? So they accumulate a lot of wealth, right? A lot of wealth, a lot of money by writing those stories. And even the Diana, right? Because of paparazzi, she was killed. So actually, number 4, right? Mostly number 4, not truth, and beneficial, pleasant to hear, right? People like it, right? So we also shouldn't speak such a one. Number 5, truth, not beneficial and pleasant to others, right? Sometimes the news is correct, so if you share that news, people like it, right? But it's not beneficial. It's not beneficial. Also, such a one, the Buddha did not speak. So here, I think if we look at this, all the factors, so only 2 must be truth, must be beneficial, and also most importantly, must be a good time, right? Must be a good time. 3 criteria. And number 6, truth, beneficial, pleasant to hear, right? Pleasant to others, welcome to others. So even such a one, right? Even such a one must know the time, right? Must know the time. So it is truth, beneficial, awaken to others, right? Pleasant to hear. But we must know the time. Last Saturday, even last week, I talked about the Dhamma, right? So if the Dhamma talk is too long, people doesn't want to hear, right? So actually, the Dhamma is always truth, right? Beneficial to the listeners. Actually, the pleasant to hear, right? But timing is very important, right? So if you do not know the timing, the Dhamma, what you share, became very worthless, right? Useless. For that reason, even though it's truth, beneficial, pleasant to hear, so we must know the time. So here, the Buddha highlights the importance of timing, right? Even the 5 criteria of good speech, timing come first, right? Timely speech. So the reason the Buddha said that, why is that? Why the Buddha speak only 2 types, right? So the reason is the Tathagata has compassion for well-beings, right? The Tathagata has compassion for well-beings. For that reason, when you read the suttas, all the teachings of the Buddha, so what the Buddha taught is, number 1, truth, must be beneficial, right? Actually, the Buddha do not use any superficial method, or the Buddha do not use, tricky method to accumulate followers, right? Followers. So even when the Buddha sent missionary men, so he said that out of compassion for the welfare of many people, go and teach the Dhamma, right? So the Buddha did not say trying to win their faith. The Buddha didn't say, right? What the Buddha said is, out of compassion, go and teach the Dhamma that you have already understood, right? Already learned. So the purpose of missionary job in Buddhism is out of compassion for the welfare of many people, right? Not to accumulate followers, right? So when you look at all the suttas, all the teaching in Tipitaka, you will say that what the Buddha said is truth, right? If people know it, beneficial. But it's not. Even you can look at 4 noble truths, right? Number 1, dukkha, suffering, right? Suffering. We start with the suffering. People doesn't want to hear, right? For that reason, the scholar, they don't want to translate the word dukkha as is suffering. They use other word, right? Because they don't want to disappoint people, right? So actually, what the Buddha saw is very direct, right? If the Buddha want to use other word, actually there are many, the Buddha is very clever in using the word, right? he just used the dukkha. Dukkha simply just means suffering, right? So what I want to say is, the Buddha just tells the truth. And if the people understand his teachings, it's beneficial, right? Somewhat people may not like it, right? Even the Buddha suggests to the people, so we have to recollect, I will die one day. I am subject to die, subject to death, right? Actually, people does not like death, right? But the Buddha say very bluntly, say the truth, because it's very beneficial, right? By recollecting the nature of death all the time, then we try to reduce the amount of fear or death, right? That's very important. So if you follow his advice, then people will benefit, right? Number one, it is truth. Number two, is beneficial. So the people may not like it, right? Because it is truth. The reason is that the Tathagata has compassion for beings, right? Compassion for beings. So here, if we study 6 types of speech, so only 2 types the Buddha used, right? The Buddha used. Number one, beneficent. Number one, truth. And number 2, beneficial, right? But the listener does not like, right? But the Buddha still use it. The reason is out of compassion, right? Out of compassion. But the Buddha know the time to use such a one, right? And another one is number 6. It is truth, beneficial, pleasant to others. But even such a one is, even such a very good one, the Buddha know the time to use such a speech, right? Such a speech. So these are 2 speeches the Buddha used, right? The Buddha used. But normally we are using all type of speeches. All type of speeches. Any question? No question, right? Okay. So in this Sutta, Abhijjhā Kumara Sutta, so one of the interesting things to learn at the end of the Sutta, para number 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So, of course, after hearing what the Buddha taught, Prince Abhijjhā became very happy, right? Very happy. And he asked another question. Bhante, many learned people, many learned religious leaders, they formulated difficult questions and come to you and ask those questions. So you can answer every question right away. So before they come to you, do you really know what they are talking, what they are asking? Then when they ask this question, I will answer like this, right? When they question such question, I will answer, I will reply in this way. Do you keep like this in your mind? And here also the Buddha didn't answer right away by asking question, right? The Buddha used thought method, right? Thought method. So Prince Abhijjhā, I will ask you the question. Are you a clever in the Bhatto chariot, right? Chariot. So actually last week I explained that Prince Abhijjhā may be the general in the chariot, truth, right? Troop. Actually in the ancient India, 4 armies, right? Infantry army go on foot, then horse army, and the horse army, and they use horses, right? Another one is elephant armies. They use elephants. Another one chariot, right? They use chariots. So here, I think the Prince Abhijjhā is one of the general of the chariot army, right? And the Buddha asked the question, I understand that you are clever, all the part of chariot. So Prince Abhijjhā said, yes, I'm clever in it. But people will come to you and ask, what is this in this chariot? So do you have it in your mind in advance? The Prince Abhijjhā said that no need. If they come and ask, I can answer right away, right? Because I'm very clever in the part of chariot. Just like that. So when they come and ask any question, whether easy or difficult, then I can answer right away. The Buddha said, I can answer right away. So the reason is the Buddha used the word Dhamma Dhatu. The Buddha said that the answer occurred to the Tathagata on the spot. Why is that? The element of things has been fully penetrated by the Tathagata, through the full penetration of which the answer occurs to the Tathagata on the spot. But here, Dhamma Dhatu is very profound, very profound. Dhamma Dhatu means the element of things, the nature of things, right? But here, somebody asks about the mind, right? The Buddha knows it about the mind very, very clearly, right? When somebody asks about feeling, the Buddha already knows it, right? For that reason, he can answer right away. So here, the Dhamma Dhatu, the element of things, right? Actually, element of things can be anything. It can be fire aggregate, tray, visits, right? Like this, right? So the Buddha is clever in them. For that reason, anyone, any question, he can answer on the spot, right? He is clever in it, right? Clever in it. Just like that. So sometimes, if I do not know some subjects, I cannot answer right away. But some people ask very easy question, can answer right away because I already know it, right? But here, of course, the Buddha is talking about very advanced teachings, right? Advanced teachings. For that reason, the Buddha is known as Purisa Dhammasarati, right? The one who contains the people, right? Who contains the people. Also very interesting, you can read the Sutta, right? You can read the Sutta. Okay, so let's go to the next topic. People normally ask question about white lie. It is breaking precept to talk white lie, right? People normally ask. So this question is very popular. But I think the student in our class, they no longer ask. The reason is we are talking many times. I know some of you may not know it, right? Even last Saturday, we explained this one, right? So I have to repeat it. Is it breaking precept to tell a white lie? Normally, when is breaking precept telling a white lie? Yes. Okay. Telling a white lie. Actually, here I think no excuse, right? No excuse. Telling lie is it telling a lie, right? Whether you're telling a white lie or not, right? But yeah, when we look at 6 types of speeches, it's very interesting that there's no white lie. But here, white lie means untruth. Normally, it's not truth, right? But beneficial and pleasant to hear, right? So what you say is not truth, but it is beneficial for the listeners. Also beneficial, it is pleasant to hear, right? So most white line are like this, but it is not mentioned in the previous sutta, right? Previous sutta among the 6 type of speech. Actually, when you learn some stories, some of the suttas, you might understand that the Buddha also tell a lie. The Buddha also use a white line, right? When you are just reading the sutta without mindfulness, or if you do not read the sutta carefully, you might think that the Buddha also tell a white line, right? But it's not a white line. We call it skillfulness in teaching, right? Skillfulness in teaching. And we can also learn from the Buddha, right? When we are using a white line, we must be very skillful, right? But you are telling a lie, but if you are skillful, it became skillfulness in speech, right? Skillfulness in speech. It no longer, how to say, we can try to avoid telling a white lie, right? White lie. We call it skillfulness in teaching, upaya desana. In one of the sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, the Buddha said that people misunderstood his teaching because they do not understand upaya desana. Actually, the Buddha used upaya desana or upaya kosala, skillfulness in teaching. So people trying to interpret literally, right? So in this way, they misinterpret teachings of the Buddha, right? One of the sutta the Buddha said, using upaya desana. So for that reason, so if you read a lot of sutta, you understand, right? Skillfulness in his teaching, upaya desana. The Buddha is not talking literally, right? So there are many idioms in the Pali Canon. People, especially the commentator, in some places, they take it literally. So in this way, so their interpretation became wrong, right? So there are some places like this. So I think when we are learning teachings of the Buddha, we must understand upaya desana. Then I will give you one question, one example. Majjhima Nikaya, sutta number 87, right? '86. Majjhima Nikaya, sutta number 86, Angulimala Sutta. I want you to read, right? It's very famous Bhante, right? So he killed thousands of people, and the whole country was shocked, right? Even the king, right? Trying to send a big army to defeat him, right? But the Buddha go there, right? He take Angulimala Bhante, right? Using skillfulness in teaching, right? But of course, Angulimala, he need 1,000 finger, right? What is this one? Index finger, right? Index finger. So he need 1,000. Now he has 999 fingers. He need one, right? Then his mother came, but he need only one. For that reason, he follow his mother. And the Buddha enter halfway. So when he saw the Buddha, he followed, right? Instead of following his mother, he followed the Buddha. Came and to get the finger. So actually, the Buddha performed a miracle that he is going in normal pace, but Angulimala trying to follow him with a very by running after the Buddha, right? But the Buddha is going normal pace, right? Normal pace. He's trying to follow, but in his mind he's thinking that even though I'm running after him, but I cannot catch up with him. What is the reason? Earlier, I even trying to run after the horse and the elephant, but now this recluse or this man, I cannot follow. So he think that. Then he trying to stop. He want to ask the question, right? The Buddha is just going normal pace. And Angulimala said that, stop the man, right? Stop recluse, stop. And the Buddha said that, I have stopped. Angulimala, you stop too. Actually, Angulimala already stopped. The Buddha is walking, but the Buddha said, I have stopped Angulimala, and you too stop. Opposite, right? The Buddha is walking, Angulimala stop. If you just look at this one, it looks like the Buddha is telling a lie, right? Actually, it's not, right? Actually, it is not. It is a skillfulness in teaching. And Angulimala became very surprised. He already stopped, but the Buddha is still walking, right? Even though he said that, I have stopped. Angulimala, you stop too, right? Actually, he know that the man do not tell lie, right? Then he asked, why? And the Buddha said that. I think it's very striking. Angulimala, I have stopped forever. I abstain from violence toward living beings, right? Actually, the Buddha already stopped violence toward all living beings. But you have no restraint toward things, that lived. That is why I have stopped and you have not. But here, the Buddha already stopped killing, right? And violent toward all living beings. But Angulimala does not stop, right? But here, the Buddha used skillfulness in teaching, right? Actually, the Buddha is walking, but the Buddha says, I have stopped. But in his mind, stopping killing, harming living beings, Angulimala haven't stopped yet, right? Then after hearing what the Buddha taught, Angulimala became shocked, right? Then he realized that actually he haven't stopped yet, right? For that reason, he gave back. He threw away all the sword and every weapons and requested the Buddha to be a monk, right? So I think this is a very famous story of Angulimala. So yeah, if you, in this sutta, we can learn that skillfulness in teaching, right? Skillfulness in teaching. Another one is actually I have shared recently about Casey, horse trainer, right? So the Buddha said that Casey trained the horse, right? In gentle way and harsh way. If sometimes he will use both method, gentle method and harsh method. If he cannot train the horse, both gentle method or harsh method, he kill the horse. So the reason is his fame and popularity were tarnished because of that horse, right? So just like that, the horse trainer Casey asked the Buddha, you are famous for Purisa Dhammasarati, the tamer of both men and devas, right? You can tame the deva as well as the people. You're very famous for that. How do you tame them? And the Buddha said, I use gentle method sometimes, but I use harsh method. Sometimes I use both method. So here, gentle method means if you do good deed, if you do dana, if you keep precept, if you meditate, you will go to a good destination, right? With the gentle method. But a harsh method means if you are doing unwholesome things, you will go to hell, right? You will go to awful destinations. This is harsh method. But sometimes the Buddha used both methods, right? Not to do any evil, to do good deed, right? To purify one's mind. So sometimes the Buddha used both methods. Then horse trainer KCS, if you cannot tame a person, both gentle and harsh method, what will you do? K. The Buddha said, I K him, right? I K him. Actually, horse trainer KC became very surprised, right? The man's not supposed to K. Then the Buddha said that if the person cannot be tamed, both gentle and harsh method, he ignored, right? Ignoring that person, that means killing, right? Killing. So you will not get any instructions from the Buddha, right? So how to say that is called killing, right? Killing. Here the Buddha used I kill that person, right? I kill that person. So we don't have to take it literally, right? But here, this is a skillfulness in teaching, right? Skillfulness in teachings. So I think that if you look at that story, the horse trainer killing a person, right? It's not a I want to say that telling a lie, right? It's not a white lie. The Buddha just used skillfulness in teaching, right? Skillfulness in teaching. Okay.
Bhante, when it comes to preservation of saving a person, you need to tell a lie. For example, if someone is using a knife trying to kill another person, and the guy was running in the crossroad, he turned to the left. So when the guy came and asked me, where did the guy go, left or right? So if I say left, I don't tell a lie, but that person will be killed by, the one who is actually going after him. So if I tell,
so you will right,
I tell a lie, I save a life. So in this type of situation, do you think that preserving a life is more important? I mean, has got more better consequence than the unwholesomeness in telling a lie?
Yeah, of course. Telling a white lie is not very serious offense. But still, if you are doing white lie many times, it's still offense. But in your case, by telling a white lie, you can save a life, right?
A life, yes.
A life. But why not? You can use skillfulness in speech.
So
the other way,
it's situational, right? It's conditional. I mean, if we have to use our own judgment to decide when can we tell, a lie, a white lie, or whatever. Is that the correct interpretation according to the Buddhist? Is that the correct interpretation based on what you have just taught us? That means we are permitted, if the circumstances arises, that we can do something greater, better than...
Of what here, actually, as I earlier said, that there's no excuse about telling lie, even a white lie, right? But of course, in your case, if you direct the right direction, he will kill that person, right? But of course, instead of telling the truth, right, then you can use skillfulness in speech. Maybe you can use the other way, maybe like a how can I use a skillfulness in speech?
In terms of karma, I mean, I would have actually generated good karma in saving a life, but
I mean,
telling a lie.
Of course, I
have a
understand. I understand that. What I mean is, instead of telling a white lie, can we use skillfulness in speech the other way? Suppose I will give you. Actually, your question is very hard, but I will give you another example. Right? Another example. Your mother. Sorry, not your mother. not good to give such an example, right? A mother is going to die, right? And she has a son in the United States, right? It takes a lot of time to come. So within 5 hours, she's going to die, right? Sorry, within 2 days. Within 2 days. 1 day, and she will die. She will die, but she's asking, "Where is my son?" Right? But if the children tell her, "Your son cannot come," right? She will not be happy, right? She will not be happy, but she wants to see her son. But instead of telling the truth that she cannot come on time, right? Then you can tell. You can use this skillfulness in speech, right? Just like, he is coming. He is coming doesn't mean he is coming me in your mind. When you are speaking, he is coming. You know that he will not be on time, but surely he will come, right? So there is skillfulness in speech. But instead of telling, your son cannot arrive on time, right? Instead of telling, your son will arrive after 2 days, right? If you are telling the truth, the mother will not like it. But instead of telling the truth, your son is coming. I think he will come on time. He will be able to meet you, right? It's not a telling lie. You use skillfulness in speech, right? So if you are telling the truth, he will be able to come within 2 days, after 2 days, right? So the mother will not be happy. Instead of telling that, he is coming, right? He is coming. But if you say he is on the way, it's also telling a lie, right? But he is not on the way, trying to preparing to come to Singapore.
Okay. Thanks, Bhante, for the explanation. Can I just continue to ask one more question about?
Okay.
No, I think Buddhism is about how to end suffering, right?
Yeah.
So what if when we follow the precept of not telling a lie, it increases our suffering? For example, if a wife asks a husband, "Do you think I'm more beautiful than the girl over there?" Then the husband has 2 choices: say yes or no, or or maybe use the skillfulness in the teaching to give a more evasive answer. But if he speaks by, "No, I think that girl is very beautiful," then it's going to be dukkha from there on, right? So how do you? I mean, this is a lighter one. I mean, how do you manage such situation?
Your wife asks whether she is more beautiful or
then the other
girl is more beautiful.
So how do we answer?
You can answer any you can give any answer.
Yeah, but that
You are more beautiful than the other girl.
But that is a liar.
No. But here, in your eye, in your mind, right? In your mind.
Then we become.
No, actually, physical appearance. Your wife is not more beautiful than the other girl, but in your the moment you are asked, you are you are answering, you are more beautiful than the other girl, right? But of course, maybe by that time you can imagine. So the moment you propose her for the first time, right? The moment you propose her for the first time. Okay, question.
Yeah, Bhante, for me, I think the best answer is just to keep quiet. I think, and then you don't tell a lie, and you don't create any problem. So regarding whatever questions or whatever just now example, he gave the example regarding this murderer was going to the killer want to kill another person. If someone would ask you this question, which direction, I think I would just simply just look at him and just stand there and don't move and look into the eyes. That's it. And the
Also, I
answer,
think that's also very dangerous.
There's no answer at all.
I think it's very dangerous, I think.
So you are mindful of his action, and you just look at him, and he will. I'm sure that he will look at you, and you don't know. He also get confused because you are not answering his questions, and I think he will turn to other directions.
How about like this? I think he go this way, right? I think he go this way. Actually, you are directing the other wrong directions, right? But you using I think, right? Using I think. Actually, you know it, right? You know it. You went the south direction, but I think he go north direction, like this. Regarding with the beauty, some people, of course, telling even a white lie, if you are telling many white lies, people will not believe you, right? So for that reason, I think telling a lie will tarnish your, the liability, or your credibility, right? Credibility. For that reason, I think telling a lie, I think we better try to skillfulness in teaching. Skillfulness in speech, right? Instead of telling the truth, right? In some circumstances.
Bhante, referring to the question that the first brother mentioned, whether to direct the person to the left or right. Actually, I find that in our real life, a lot of time we are caught in the situation that whether we follow the precept or we save somebody's life or whatever. So can we do it this way that, telling a white lie out of good intention is not a very serious bad karma?
Yeah.
So
I
we
agree
just,
with
for me, I think we just accept it as such. Yes, we have, we have told a white lie. And yes, we have accumulated bad karma, but on the other hand, we save the other person's life. That is a good deed.
You compensate.
Correct. And I
white
think
line with a good deed.
yes, and I think sometimes we just have to accept that. To have a bad karma, a less serious bad karma, to do something good. I think we go for the bigger good deeds, because otherwise, every time we are caught in the sense that we have to follow the precept closely. In the end, a lot of things that we are doing could be very selfish.
Yeah.
Because you are just trying not to accumulate bad karma, but then because you yourself want to accumulate, good karma, that you might do a lot of things that not very good to the society and to other people.
Yeah, very good. I think very good discussion. So I think actually here, I forgot to point out that we are not. I'm not telling to refrain from telling a white lie 100%. But here I'm just teaching how to avoid it, right? Skillfully. Of course, sometimes in that situation, if we are telling the truth, so the guy will die. So instead of telling the truth, we tell a white lie. He go this way, right? White lie. But of course, it saves the person. But if we have a chance to choose the other option, so the other option is skillfulness in speech, right? Then I will give you another example. Two guys are driving, right? So on the traffic light, so a teacher is going to, in the morning, lady is going to school. Then the other guy talked to the teacher, "You are beautiful. You are beautiful." Actually, the teacher is very ugly. The teacher is very ugly, but the guy said, "You are beautiful." The driver, his friend, became surprised. She's very ugly. Why you say you are beautiful? But by saying this, she will not be angry to her students the whole day. She'll be very happy, right? But here, she's not beautiful. But if we say you are beautiful, so that means telling a lie, right? Telling a white lie. It's not truth, but beneficial and also pleasant to hear, right? But another thing is, if you are using such a white lie many times, so your friend sitting nearby will not believe you, right? If you are talking a very serious one, right? So here, if you're talking you're beautiful, if you in your mind you indicate not physical appearance, the mind, right? You are beautiful. That means her mind is very beautiful, right? But in your mind, you indicate the mind. But the listener will take it physical appearance, right? But anyway, it's not a white lie. It is a using skillfulness in speech, right? Ubaya kosala, right? Ubaya kosala. So I think that in the social media, if you post a picture, so people say you are very lovely, you're getting things like this, right? So actually not. But if you say you are lovely, you are beautiful, the moment you are typing, the moment you are saying, keep it in your mind, you are indicating their mind, not physical appearance, right? So if you are telling like this, you're trying to avoid a white lie, even a white lie, right? Of course, it's a using skillfulness in teaching, right? Skillfulness in speech. But of course, I'm not telling not to speak even a white lie, but of course sometimes we need to speak, right? But not very often, right? Not very often. So when we have chance to speak a white line, trying to use skillfulness, right? Trying to use skillfulness, just like the Buddha. Killing a person, not literal meaning, right? Like this, right? Here also there are some story regarding with the white line. Story of Yesa and his father. After the Buddha taught the first sermon, a group of 5 monks, so they became Sotapanna. Then after hearing Nattalakkhana Sutta, second discourses, both of them, they became arahant, right? So by that time, one of the son of a rich man, called Yesa, and he became disappointed in his life, and he went out to Isipatana. He met with the Buddha, and the Buddha granted that if you listen his talk, and he can remove his disappointment and his suffering. And he listened. Then after listening the Dhamma, he became Sotapanna. Make it short, right? Make it short. Became Sotapanna. So by that time, his family became worried because they lost their son, right? So his father sent all the messenger, all the directions. But he himself went to Isipatana, where the Buddha stayed, right? So the Buddha saw the father Yesa is coming, but if by that time Yesa is meditating, contemplating what we have learned. So if he saw his father, it will be disturbing for his understanding the Dhamma, right? For that reason, the Buddha performed a miracle in such a way that Yesa's father will not see his son, right? So his father came and asked, "Did you see such a young man?" And the Buddha said this one, "Where, Hausura, sit down, calm down." Because he's worried, right? He's worried. And he said that, "If you sit down here, you might see your son," right? It's very clever, right? The Buddha did not say yes or no, right? If he say yes, his mind became very agitated, very, excited. If he say no, it's also not good, right? And he will, turn the other direction, right? The Buddha said that, "Sit down, Hausura. If you sit down here, you might see your son," right? And he became very happy. Then sit down and listen to the Dhamma, became Sotapanna, right? Became Sotapanna. So this is you can read the book called Discipline, fourth volume, page number 24, right? Page number 24. So here, if you learn this story, you might see that skillfulness in teaching, right? Skillfulness in speech. Sometimes there will be a condition that you have to tell lie because of your reputation, right? Somebody is asking a direct question, but if you answer yes, that means your reputation will be tarnished, right? You might lose your job, even you might lose your job, right? But if you say no, that means telling a lie, right? Telling a lie. So in that situation, you have to use skillfulness in speech, right? Just like some politicians, if they don't want to answer the question, they stay silently, right? Without saying anything. Actually, many people will ask questions, they will not answer, right? Answer. So in this way, they try to avoid telling a lie, right? And they try to avoid the danger of truth, right? The danger of truth. But here also, the Buddha trying to use skillfulness in teaching. Another one is, as you all know, that story of Kisa Gautami. Kisa Gautami got married with the son of a rich person, and her parents-in-law do not like her, always complaining, always finding fault, right? Then one day she gave birth a lovely baby. So from the time onward, she got left. Many people left her, favor her because of her son, right? But suddenly, when her son became toddler, he died. So she became, crazy and restless, and carrying her own baby and asking the question to the people, "Is there any medicine for my son? Is there medicine for my son?" People knew that her son already died. There's no medicine for the dead person, right? To recover, to restore previous life. So people trying to say, "You're crazy, right? Your son already dead." But she couldn't believe, she couldn't accept the reality, right? But luckily she met one of the wise men, and she directed to the Buddha, "If you go to the Buddha, you might know the medicine for your dead son," right? Then she happily go to the Buddha and ask the medicine. And she asked this one, "Bhante, this is from the commentary, right? The commentary of Dhammapada verse number 114. So Kisa Gautami asked the question, "Bhante, do you know the medicine for my dead son?" And the Buddha answered, "Yes, I do." This is a literal translation, "Yes, I do." If you look at this one, telling a lie, right? Telling a lie. Because there is no medicine for the dead person. Even his disciples die. He will die. There's no medicine, right? It looked like telling a lie. But of course, the Buddha said, yes, I know. She became very happy, right? Heartened to hear that. But the Buddha said that you must get a mustard seed from the house where nobody died before. You have to bring a mustard seed, right? And Kisa Gautami became very happy. It's very easy, right? She can get mustard seed very easily. But the Buddha said, but that must be from the house where nobody died before. But of course, her mind is deluded, no, restless. For that reason, she even couldn't think about it. Simple one, right? And she go one house to another, asking a mustard seed, and people can give mustard seed. But when they say, is there any person who died in this house? They will say, yes, last year my father died. And 10 years ago, my mother died. A few months ago, my brother died, like this, right? So they answer. So when she go a few houses, and she began to know that death cannot be avoided. It is inevitable. For that reason, she began to realize, so her son already dead, cannot recover, right? Then she buried her son at the cemeteries, went straight to the monasteries, and asking the Buddha to allow her to become a bhikkhuni, right? So she became bhikkhuni. Then after listening some discourses, she became arahant. So here, the mustard seed, a medicine for her that son, right? So that give her enlightenment, right? Understanding that death cannot be avoided, right? Everyone will face it, right? So that is medicine for her. So if you just look at this one, you might think that it is a white lie, right? Actually, it is not. The Buddha used skillfulness in speech, right? Skillfulness in speech. So this is a example, right? Some of the very famous example in the from the commentaries, right? Question? Okay, no question. Then we finish 4 variations, right? We just already learned 3 bodily actions and 4 variations. Mind is forerunner of all phenomena, everything, right? Mind is the chief, they are mind made. If one speaks and acts with the wicked mind, because of that, suffering will follow. Just as the wheel follows the hoofprints of the ox that draw the cart, right? That draw the cart. So this is the first part from Dhammapara, a very famous one. Mano Pobingama Dhamma. Mind is forerunner of everything. So I am in teaching now because of the mind. You are coming learning because of the mind. If you don't have a mind to come here, you will stop it, right? So mind is forerunner of everything. So if you are speaking means verbal actions, right? If you are acting, that is bodily actions. We have 4 verbal actions and 3 bodily actions. So if you speak and act with the wicked mind, ugly mind, because of that, suffering follows one. Very clear, right? Easy to understand. For that reason, I think teachings of the Buddha is very clear, easy to understand. As I earlier said that, for that reason, the wisdom monk Ajahn Brahmali, right? Always say. Actually, he had learned Bible, he had learned all the religious scriptures, but he learned the suttas. And he said that suttas are profoundly, surprisingly simple. You can read it, right? You can read it by yourself. He always encouraged to read the suttas because he know, right? So other religious scriptures, not that much easy. But here, very straightforward, right? Mind is forerunner of everything. So we are, based on our mind, we are speaking, we are acting, right? If you are talking, if you are acting with the wicked mind, suffering will follow. Another one, second one, mind is forerunner of all phenomena. Mind is their chief, their mind mate. If one speaks and acts with the pure mind, but here, pure and beautiful mind, right? Because of that, happiness follows him. I think it's very simple and easy to understand. Like a shadow that never leaves him. Like a shadow, right? But of course, when you are walking under the roof, of course, cannot see. But actually, it's just example, right? Just a simile. If one speaks and acts with the pure mind, because of that, happiness follows one. I think it's important to use to speak with the pure mind. By looking at these two verses, I think we know the importance of the mind, right? Importance of the mind. Last week I explained different, wrong stories. Story of Cakkapala and the Buddha, right? Cakkapala is disciples of Mahavira, and they have a conversation, right? So among three bodily action, verbal action, and mental actions, and Cakkapala said that bodily action is the most serious, right? The most serious. And the Buddha said that not the bodily actions, mental actions, right? So I think I don't know whether I share that whether I sent this sutta, Upali Sutta. Majjhima Nikaya, sutta number 56. I don't think I sent this one, right? Because no time to learn this sutta. The importance of mind, right? Majjhima Nikaya. Did I send this sutta? Did I send? No, right? But last week I share the background story of this sutta, right? So the Buddha said that no, not bodily actions. Mental action is the most serious one. Giving some example, and the Buddha said that suppose actually the conversation was taking place in Nalanda. Nalanda is a crowded city, and the Buddha asked, suppose a man with a knife will come and will kill all the people in Nalanda in one moment. In a moment. I will kill all the men in Nalanda, right? In one moment. Can he do that? The Buddha asked. No way, cannot. Even one person, difficult, right? In a one moment, right? 2%, 10%, 20. Very difficult, right? And the Buddha said that suppose if one of the Brahmin or an ascetic who has supernatural power, and he will say that I will kill all the people in Nalanda in a moment. Can he do that? Yes, very easy. No, not only the people in Nalanda, the people in India, right? The people all over the globe. If he performs supernatural power, right? And he can kill all the people. So actually the importance of mental actions, right? Importance of mental actions. Among the three Buddhism regard, mental action is mind is forerunner of everything, right? So if we are acting, speaking with the wicked mind, suffering will follow. Mind is very important, right? For that reason, three mental actions are very important. Number one, covetousness, abhijjhā. Number two, ill will, vyāpāda. Number three, wrong view, abhijjhā. So these three are the mental actions generally occurring through the door of the mind, right? Through the door of the mind. Number one, covetousness. Number two, ill will. Number three, wrong view. Number one, lobha. Number two, dosa. Number three, moha. Simply, very simple, right? Lobha, dosa, moha. For that reason, lobha, dosa, moha are called akusala mula, right? The root of unwholesome actions, right? Lobha, dosa, moha. Number one, so what is covetousness? Abhijjhā, right? Here, someone is full of longing. He longs for the wealth and property of others. That's or what belongs to another be mine, right? But here, one of the most important thing is the wealth and the property of others. You can long for your own property, right? You can long for your life partner. It doesn't matter, right? But here, we have a different level of longing. We have a different level of lobha, right? So this lobha, covetousness is very strong, that he longs for the property of others, right? Or may what belong to another be mine, right? And you get married, and you say that, or she might be, it will be good, she is my wife. It will be good, he is my husband, right? Like this, right? You long for other people, right? Out of your marriage. So you have your own property, your own wealth, right? Your own wealth. Then you long for other property, right? So that is a property of others. Covetousness. Here the point is, abhijjhā here means the most, serious lobha, right? The most serious lobha. Covetousness is indecent and righteous greed, right? And righteous lobha, which crave for the property of other people. You can have a lobha to your property, right? What belongs to you, it is samat lobha, decent lobha, right? Decent lobha. Stay okay. But of course, when we look at from the top-down view, from the Nibbana point of view, any lobha is not good, right? Not good. But the lobha, the greed to your property, what you belong to, is righteous, right? Righteous. But when we look at from Nibbana perspective, every greed is not righteous, right? But this one is the most serious one, right? The most serious one. So therefore, different degree of greed, right? Different degree of greed. So there are two factors to complete a full course of abhijjhā. Number one, being the property of other people, right? If you long for your own property, it's not abhijjhā, right? It's not abhijjhā here. Number two, longing it for oneself, right? Longing for oneself. then I think it is good to note what the Bhikkhu Bodhi write in his Abhidhamma book. Even though greed, lobha, arises for another's property, it does not become a full cause of action unless one gives rise to the wish to take possession of that property. Suppose you want their house, right? But it is, of course, it is a greed. It is attachment, but you wish that house belong to you, right? You want to steal it, right? The wish to steal it as your own, The wish to take possession of that property, right? So that is a full cause of abhijjhā. I think very simple, right? You long for the property of other people, right? May this well be belong to me, right? Belong to me. Unrighteous greed, right? If you abstain from covetousness, that became wholesome actions, right? Wholesome actions. Sometimes we may long for property of other people, then you try to refrain from it. So that is wholesome deed, right? That become moral principle. That become moral conduct, right? Morality. Any question? No question, right? Okay.
Hello, Bhante. About your earlier question, the earlier example about the house that you want,
Yeah.
so that generates greed.
Yeah.
But if you're not stealing it, but you can work and buy it, would it consider
Oh no, it's not a abhijjhā. It's not a abhijjhā.
that
Because-
it will not be bad
Yeah.
mental factors? Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's the same as, let's say I'm in the line of sales, right?
Yeah.
And if I want to set a sales target,
Yeah.
would that be greed? Because that will generate.
If you need it, I think it's not. It's just a desire, right?
Yes, it's a
It's not a
desire.
greed.
Yes.
Desire.
So that's not greed.
Not greed. But of course,
Thank you.
we are looking at bottom view, not top view.
Sorry.
We are looking bottom view. So we have a different level of greed, right? Different level of greed. But here, the greed is so strong that you want to take the property of others, right? But in your case, you target, right, to buy such a house, right? It is desire, right? You want that, right? Right? You want that. But here is as I earlier said that here, the wish to take possession of that property in righteous way, right? In righteous way. It will lead to stealing, right? It will lead to stealing. But you, in your case, you just wish such house, right? You work hard and you buy it. That's not a abhijjhā, right? That's not a abhijjhā. Another one is a way, vyāpāda. Here is a dosa, right? Dosa. This is a stronger dosa. So we have a different level of defilements. And then I will share next week a different level of defilement, right? Different level of greed and different level of dosa, right? Even today I will share a little bit. Here, A-way, he has a minor A-way, an intention of hate. Thus, may these beings be slain, slaughtered, cut off, destroyed, or annihilated. But here, may these beings, right? Not yourselves. These beings, other beings, right? Other beings. Very strong. You have an inner hate to kill them, right? You have purpose, a strong desire, determination to kill them, or you have a strong wish to let them die, right? In one way or another. That's called a way. Very, very bad, right? Very bad one. May these beings be slain, slaughtered, cut off, destroyed, or annihilated, right? Annihilated. Very strongest one, right? Strongest dosa. So that will lead to killing, right? That will lead to harming other beings. For that reason, the mind is the root of everything, right? Because of a way lead to killing and harming living beings. Because of longing lead to stealing, right? Lead to stealing and lead to sexual misconduct, right? Sexual misconduct. A way is hatred and desire to harm others. Two factors: being another sentient beings, right? Must be another sentient beings, right? Number two, the thought of harming is sentient beings. But here must be other, right? Must be other, not yourself. So this is a abstinence from a way. He is of good way and his intention are free of hate, right? Free from dosa. May these beings live happily, free from enmity, affliction and anxiety. Very beautiful, right? Very beautiful. Living with a mind of loving kindness, right? May they be happy and well, right? May they be free from physical and mental suffering, right? For those who has weak mental power, mental energy, trying to radiate loving kindness, right? And recently, one of the Hindu guys, not Buddhists, one of the Hindus, gentleman came to temple and asked the question. He has a lot of voices. It's very disturbing, right? Very disturbing. He's afraid what he should do. Actually, my simple actually I told him, I think if our mind is very powerful, nobody can disturb, right? Nobody can disturb. For that, you need to empower your mind, enhance with power. You can use any method. As a Hindu, you can go to Hindu temple, and you can even go to church, trying to enhance or empower your mind. If you want to follow Buddhist way of method, then I told him how to radiate loving kindness. Then I asked background story, all the background stories. Actually, he have a lot of problem with the environment. So I told him to radiate loving kindness. Very simple one. May all beings, starting from may I be free from physical and mental suffering. May my parents, may my brothers and sisters, may my relative, may my neighbor. Like this, right? Living being in the east, north, west, south, above and below, right? So I told him to radiate loving kindness. In this way, your mind will be very powerful, right? If your mind is very powerful, nobody can disturb, right? Any type of beings cannot disturb. So here, may these beings live happily, free from anxiety, affliction and anxiety. Normally, if we do not like a person, right, we have a hatred here. It generates negative energy, right? But if we generate positive energy, just like loving kindness, compassion, It's very powerful, right? Very powerful. So, Dalai Lama, you know that? You know, a lot of problem. In Tibet, it's occupied by China, right? So there are a lot of dispute, right? China government always regarding as a debate, right? As a demon, right? Demon or demon? Demon, right? As a demon. Always criticize, always revile. But anyway, he said that he left everyone, right? So if we look at his mind and his body, we can see that happiness, right? The power of loving kindness and compassion, right? Very powerful. So here, what I want to point out is, longing here means very strong greed, right? But ill here means a very strong hatred toward other living beings, right? Sometimes we long for our property, and sometimes we hate ourselves. We don't like the weather, right? We don't like the noises, right? Noises. These are also ill will, right? Ill will. Mahasatipatthana Sutta talk about this, longing and ill will in Mahasatipatthana Sutta. So this is a subtle point, right? Subtle point. So if you have desire to kill other living beings, so that means longing, right? Ill will, very strong dosa. If you want to steal, the property of other people, a very strong lobha, right? Strong lobha. Normally, we eco-Buddhists, we don't have such one, right? We are very lucky, very lucky. As a eco-Buddhist, you have to try this one. Actually, as you all know that in Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the Buddha talk about 4 foundations of mindfulness, right? Mindfulness of the body, feeling, mind, and phenomena. Actually, next year I will explain in details, but here I just want to highlight longing and ill will in Mahasatipatthana Sutta, right? A deeper level of longing and ill will. Here means immense dress, contemplating the body in the body. But this is the body you consider as a body. That's all, right? You don't consider this ugly or beautiful, right? Tall or short like this, right? You consider the body as a body. Feeling as a feeling, right? Normally, if we have exciting feeling, we consider good and bad, right? We have a lot of, a lot of thought, a lot of exaggeration in our mind, right? But mind as a mind, phenomena as a phenomena, right? Ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful. So this one is the most important part. Have been subdued, longing. Here, abhijjhā. Here, the Buddha used dejection, dominance, not ill will, right? Here, the dominance is on one type of ill will in our mind. It can be ill will toward other living beings. It can be ill will toward ourselves. It can be ill will toward the weather, the monasteries, society, the passing, right? Like this, right? Any type of ill will. That's called dominance. The Bhikkhu body translated dejection, right? If we don't like it, we're trying to deject, right? We're trying to reject. We're trying to reject. If we like it, trying to take it, right? Trying to crave it. But here, having subdued longing and dejection in regard to the world. But here, in regard to the world, maybe anything that you see, that you experience, right? That you hear. When you hear pleasant or unpleasant things, trying not to have longing and digestion. When you experience whether good or bad, right? Try not to have longing and digestion. Just take it as it is, right? If you hear unpleasant sound, just take it unpleasant sound. Don't follow other ill way, right? If you have it unpleasant experience, right? Just take it, just experience, right? Don't take it with the longing and digestion, right? So here, in regard to the world, 5 aggregate. 5 aggregate simply means everything, right? That you hear, that you see, that you experience, right? So this is a deeper level of longing and ill, right? The different degree of defilements. Then I think that next week I will explain on the different degree of defilements, right? Okay, so time is up.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, announcement please.
Brothers and sisters, can I have attention, please? This coming Monday, 1st of October, there's a talk by Bhante Ratana Sara. The title is Scientific Religion in Modern World. You're welcome here, 7:30 to 9:30. Thank you.
Okay. Yo varatam bhava romanu jesu sapya muni bhagavakata kecho paragato bala viriya samangi tam sukatam saranatam upemi raga viraga maninjama sokan dhammama samgata mapatikulam Madhurami mampagunam suipatat dhammami mam saranathamupemi yataja nama apalamahu chatusu sisu purisayugesu Attaja Bhoga Dhammadasati Sangami Mam Saranat Upemi Sadhu. Good night everyone.